Being reformed to me is about seeking the Ruah of God, paying attention to the ways in which God is not a static phenomenon, neither is our context in which we live and breathe and have our being, neither is a static reality. And the excitement for us is that we understand that. We've always understood that. It's part of our faith and part of our theology. It's part of the way in which we live our lives. When we're most alive to our beliefs, we understand that we are able to take a depth, take a sounding of where we are, and that those realities change and shift. But God is God, and worthy to be praised in all the seasons of our lives. And so for me, what it means to be reformed and always being reformed is that there's this glorious opportunity to adapt to all of the changes, which we know are constants, but to serve and worship a God who is eternal.
To be able to look at my life theologically, to understand that what I do when I come to work, what I do in church, what I do when I'm talking to my children or my grandchildren, when I'm reading the newspaper or watching the news, to see all that through a theological lens is of absolute importance to me. To try to be a more faithful Christian, a more faithful Presbyterian, is of utmost importance to me.
It means for me to be reformed so many things, but I think deep down probably it's about reaching back into our past, to grab what is really true, you know, the sola scriptura, to grab from the text and from the confessional heritage into the present moment, but to project that, to live that into God's imagined future. So being reformed is not about just sort of observing and giving thanks for what has happened, but imagining, praying for, and living for what God hopes to happen. And that's what we as people of faith need to do in our time. We have so many opportunities to be reformed and to live being reformed today, tomorrow, and for generations to come.
For me to be reformed is all about God. I really appreciate that in the Reformed tradition, the first question is always about God, not about ourselves. I love that, and the second thing I love about the Reformed tradition is that you love God with your mind. I grew up in a tradition where loving God with your mind was sometimes considered suspect, or folks were scared of that a bit, and I appreciate the freedom of the mind in the Reformed tradition.